Stay tuned for a hot.
Right about now, we introduce to you Kev the God. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
What's good? What's good? Welcome back to another amazing season of the BME TV show. So today, I'm passing the torch on to an amazing woman. She is now the new president of BME. She goes by the name of Selena Ward, aka Nee W.
Nee W in
What's
the
good,
house.
boo?
I'm good. I'm happy. I'm glad to be a part of this family.
Yes.
I'm feeling like pantyhose is a good fit. You know what I'm
She
saying?
said pantyhose is a good fit.
I'm really feeling
Wow.
good about it. I'm just happy and excited about all the things that I know that are going to be going on.
Yes.
I really am.
Okay, so before we get into the amazing guests that you're going to interview later, I want to talk to you more about what you have planned for BME and what made you come to BME.
Well, BME, when it comes to big man, I have known big man pretty much all my life.
Shout out to the executive producer,
out
to Big Man Quasi Edge.
Absolutely. And I followed everybody online on
Right.
Facebook, on Instagram, and I always pay attention to what was going on with BME. And I saw him putting things out there, and I sent a message to him, and I wanted to be a part of it.
Okay.
You know, I want to see what I can bring to the table and how I can help and how we can build this empire. I want to be a part of all that.
That's what's up. So what do you do outside of BME, you know, your personal life? I heard you was into fashion, kind of. That's a little teaser I got.
Yeah, I'm into fashion. I actually have an interior decorating company.
Okay.
And outside of that, I am my own personal fashionista. I'm into fashion heavy everywhere I go. It's like I have an eye for it. I'm good with it, and I want to bring that. I'm going to bring it and add it on.
That's what's up.
And see what we can do with it.
Thanks to her for this amazing new setup for season 2 of BME. You're going to see different things each and every week, so I hope y'all ready for that. We have an event coming up in October. I don't want to spoil it, but you know October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yeah.
So let's talk about breast cancer. You have a story that you want to talk about.
Yeah, well, I am now a breast cancer survivor.
Congratulations.
And I was diagnosed in 2010.
Okay.
And it's really important to stay on top of these issues and go and get your checkups and see what's going on with that situation, because the detection, you really have to stay on top of the checkups and make sure that your body is straight. When I did find out, fear kicked in, and I delayed going to get checked out for about close to a month. And I finally went, and I was referred to a doctor. The problem was that the doctor that I was sent to that was supposed to be a specialist wasn't. I went through 2 surgeries with him, and he pretty much cut me up and didn't have to. Went and finally got a second opinion and went to Sloan Kettering, and they pretty much, God helped those hands save my life.
Right.
And I like to be around to talk about it, because a lot of females, the fear kicks in and you don't want to go check anything out, and that can be your demise. Yeah. So I'm like, the awareness of it and paying attention to the appointments that you got to make and everything like that, it's really, really important.
Right.
So, you know, in October, I want to do something towards that, put it out there. I want to let people know to definitely, if you can't talk to your girlfriend, talk to your boyfriend. You can't talk to your doctor, talk to whoever you have to talk to and get that help, because it's very serious. It's cancer. It's taking people out of here left and right.
Right. So I know it's going to be the first weekend of October, a little mini fashion show, little concert series, hosted by you.
Yes, indeed.
It's going to be great. But what else do you have in store for BME? Like, what do you see BME within the next 5 years?
BME, talking about empire. Well, I see BME doing really big things. This TV show is going to go to a totally different level. Radio, the fashion. I'm like, when you get involved with the people out there, you know, scared money don't make no money sometimes. You know, and you have to be willing to take a step out there, even if, you know, you haven't ventured in that area before. You got to take a step out there and, you know, help build it up. The fashion we're going to show, we're going to have awesome models. The models are going to do their thing. We're bringing some children into it. We have dancers. I mean, we're going to have spoken word. Spoken word is just, it's just really deep, and that's a way of people really expressing the stuff that's in their soul. And, you know, what they're trying to put out there. It's just a combination of things. We have artists that paint amazing work, and we just have to take it to the level. We're going to get out there. We're going to get out there and do it big.
Okay. So when we talked about spoken word, we're going to be having a bi-weekly event.
Right.
I can't remember the name of the club.
The name of the club is Nabi.
Nabi. I know
Located
it's in Harlem.
Yes.
I heard it's a very nice spot. So every second and fourth Thursday, am I correct?
Second and fourth. Every
yes.
second and fourth Thursday.
So details are coming soon. I just want y'all to look out for that. Comedy, spoken word,
fashion.
a little bit of fashion in there. So it's going to be good.
Open mic night.
Yes. So I want to pass this torch on to you as the new host of the BME TV show and the new president. I'll be stepping up, and now I'm going to be the assistant to the CEO.
All right.
Do some bigger things, and I could focus more on producing and directing this show.
Good.
And help you push, the show in another area. But I couldn't do it without my number one DJ, KL Rockwell.
DJ KL.
So let's take us to a music break. Play some music for us.
Yeah. Here we go.
What if? What if I never picked up no pen? If I never picked up no pen? What if music wasn't my talent? Music wasn't my talent.
Look, waking up late nights, I'm having dreams like, what if I never make it? That's what it seems like. What if I never picked up a pen? Would I still turned out to be the artist that I am? What if I never ever left the streets? Posted by the trap, looking like I sell weed. What if I never got my mom's the house she always wanted? Cause a car in that garage would have butterflies in her stomach and a smile of joy when she noticed that her son has made it. She gives me a tight hug and tells me I'm the greatest. But sometimes I just feel like it ain't gonna happen. But I know that we gon' make it if I stick with rapping. I can't lie, I've been to jail, yeah, I did some things. That's how it was for a youngin' living in the East.
Closer, won't you come closer? A little complications got your mind on easy bacon. Swagged out, decked out, sexed out without a doubt. Trying to pay for attention was the price you listen. Thank you from your man, focus on the game plan. Treat you like distribution, Gucci, Louis, since you knew me. But all the
Hey, welcome back to the BME TV show. I'm Nee Nee W, your new host. I hope you enjoyed that last music video from one of our own artists, Cartel Remedy, called Hey Girl. Now we have in the studio with us Dee-o Official. Welcome, Dee-o.
Hey, sister. How you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good. I'm blessed.
Okay, well, we've had you here before, and I know that you've done some work with Dave Chappelle. I know you've done some work with Chris Rock. Project. What are you into right now?
Well, currently I'm just working on a couple more other things. Irvin and Wilson, which is a new web series.
Nice.
I currently did some work with Bum Rush, which is another web series. From the makers of True Vision Films, we're working on the Sean Bell film, which the commercial for the coming attractions just dropped.
That's great. That's great. So tell me something. How did you get started into getting into this acting business?
It was so weird, my sister. I really wasn't even trying to act.
Okay.
It was just based on me, coming out of incarceration, just trying to get myself right, doing some construction work and doing a little hip hop. Never taking it to be getting into acting. Never, looked at it like a field I wanted to be in.
Right.
A friend of mine asked me to come down, Darnell Rollins, to come and, just give some support, basically. So I was supposed to have been going down there to cut Dave Chappelle's hair at the time, acting as a barber just to get in.
Nice.
But I have barber skills, and I actually used to practice on my brother and my cousins when we were all little.
Nice.
So I wound up going down there. I met with them, and they was asking me, like, they ran out of people, and the people they ran out of wasn't fulfilling what they was trying to do.
Okay.
And what was so hilarious about it was what they were doing was making mockery of people in certain situations of reality of the jokes that they were bringing out, you know, stereotyping of what people do in the hood. And I was serious, and they was looking at it like, we needed someone, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. And then my friend was like, come on. So I wound up doing it. And the jokes that they was asking were regular jokes that people would say to each other, like, yo, let me get a cigarette. And I'm like, man, you ain't got no cigarettes? Come on, man. Or where you get a Lucy from? You know, oh, man, you get that from the A-Rap. It was, see, you laughing. See, that's why it's hard, right? Then they asked me, is pimping easy? I said, hell yeah. But this is what, you know, we joke with each other and coming up in the hood, and it was hilarious and it was funny. But I never thought that I would be able to go into that field, because I was like currently working and then trying to do auditions just to change my life before I grew my beard. And they gave me a hard time, so God just sent me to science, like, you know, me being raised a certain way, praying 5 times a day, Muslim. We're not supposed to be doing certain things, but, you know, born here in America, you know what it is. You have to fight and do what's right for you, you know, and it was a turnaround in my life for me. And, you know, you still have his roads of, you know, detours and troubles, but, you know, staying focused and going after the things you want to go after. But the world, what you throw out to the world, it comes back.
It does.
And I got a break, you know. I threw out a lot of different things that, you know, we all do, being mischievous, young, and want to be, you know, some of your idols you may see in the streets. And, you know, back in the days, if you think about Bumpy Johnson and all those other famous guys who made things possible for blacks to walk around, and Malcolm X, and, you know, I look at that history. So knowing your history makes you want to change to become a better person, especially when you have kids. And I didn't want my kids to look at me as a statistics in the streets, saying, oh, my dad was this, that, and the third, and then they have a tragic situation. I want to give them something that they could look up to and be a part of. And, you know, every child should want to do that. And instead of just being tragic, you could get paid for it, you know, turn it around. And that's what kind of like happened for me.
So tell me something, when it comes to, there's a lot of kids out there now, they're lost, they're running all over the place, and for somebody who's grown up that way and they want to get into this type of business, what would you advise them to do to try to do something like this?
I'd say that they just got to read up and understand the laws of it, learn the fundamentals, be sincere, and if you're going to go into that field, make sure that you're focused to do that, and, you know, give it your all. And don't give up, and do not get discouraged by these people, because I'll tell you, sister, these people will discourage you, only if you allow them to.
That's true.
You know, and if you want to do so, just stay steadfast. You want to buy a pair of Jordans, you go and bug mommy and daddy to death. Oh, I want them sneakers, I want that. So you got to put those same drives and attitudes and ambitions into doing things that's going to benefit you, especially if you love it, you know?
Did you develop a love for it?
Yeah, I did, honestly. Like, you knew, you read my lips and my mind. Yeah, that was cool.
Because I could see it that you have, it's in your core, that, you know, you're really into what you do.
The reason why that happened was, you know, besides working out and, you know, releasing your steam or hitting the bag, I found out that I wanted to do that because I could release all my anger in front of a camera and it wouldn't hurt no one.
That's good.
So if I release my anger in front of the camera, you be like, yo, you know, I would like to do that, and no one gets hurt. You understand? So it's unique in a sense, and I didn't go to school for it.
And, you know, I think that's a lot of things that people don't realize, that something that you have in your heart, you don't need a paper to say that, yeah, I did this.
Well, now in today's time in the politics, you know, you want to have that to protect you, to show that you know, you're willing to abide by the rules and regulations, just because these are certain things that people want, the requirements.
That's a requirement, right.
But, you know, other than that, they could discourage you, but only if you allow it, you know. And the way I looked at it is seeing through Martin Luther King, I have a dream, you know, and I didn't know that this dream was going to occur. You understand what I mean by, I had dreams for other things. It
was a path for you that you didn't even know was laid out.
It just landed on me. It's like, you know, you ever see that thing on the wall that said one set of footprints when I carried you?
Yes.
I didn't even know I was being carried.
Yes.
You understand?
That's
so
right.
It was removing me from destruction to a path of giving something that I could give back and be thankful for doing so. And that's where the passion really came in from, I think.
That's great. I can see that. I like that. So tell me, what kind of projects are you involved with now?
Well, it's so funny because from the filmmakers of True Vision Films, when we did 730 with Jamal Willard, the guy who played Biggie, gave me an opportunity. He was like, yo, man, I think you could do this. And I was like, yeah, you sure? But then when I read the script and I looked at it, I was like, it was phenomenal. It was just talking about how I was, basically what he was going through, you know what I mean? And once you get to see it, it just blows your mind because we put the app out. The people didn't want to buy the app. So he gave it away, you know?
Wow.
So when he gave it away, he gave you a limited time to check it out. Process of doing so, was 1 million views already within a year. No promotion, nothing. So I'm like, that's God. I don't know what you call it. So then from him, he was inspired to do the Sean Bell.
Okay.
So he had to go through the mechanicalisms of sitting with the parents, getting the rights, because everybody said, oh yeah, I got the Sean Bell story. Nah, he did it right. You know, the parents are beautiful people. It's sad that, you know, they had to be governed by this situation that occurred, you know, with their child. And as a loving parent, you know, it's a horrible tragic to go through. So just doing that story alone made me driven to want to become part of that. You know what I mean? So, and that's the newest film is getting ready to come soon, besides the Urban and Wilson that I'm doing a web series with my man Dee-o. That's weird because the cop actually that came from another community lost his family. So I'm one of the friends, cop of the friends, who's the one who goes and creates all the havoc. And it's going to be interesting in that.
I know it is.
Also, another project called Gang Unit I'm doing where I play a cop undercover towards the gang violence that's going on. So I portray one of the gang members as one of the gang members, but you know, that's going to be interesting coming through from a book called American Thug.
Well, tell me something. I know that you're speaking about Sean Bell with all the stuff that's going on here now with all of us getting, all the kids getting shot and going left and right. How you feel about what's happening out there?
It hurts me. If you go back to when, what his name is, Emmett Till, that whistled at that woman, it's like we living that all over again. But what we got to do is realize that we have to structure a defense mechanism within ourselves of obedience to go out and then do the things that we righteously supposed to do. We're not saying that you know, we got to turn the other cheek, but through the lawmakers and us as the people who see what's going on to take the initiative actions to go to these people that holds the power to be voted out of policy. And then all the lawmakers that don't want to change the law and hiding behind whatever they're hiding behind to be exposed.
Right.
So it's like playing chess. How can you play chess and you don't know how to live life? You understand?
You're right.
So if you make these laws, then there's laws that govern them same laws that you make.
Right.
So when we put you in check, now we have to defend ourselves righteously, godly, and it says in the Bible, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, but it can't be under ignorant actions or malice.
That's correct.
So we're being policed by people who have malice on their heart. And, you know, I think within our American government, they just got to filter it.
Right.
And along with our views and dealing with the laws collectively to attack these laws, to make them change their laws according to the law that governs the law, we the people. So how can we lose?
You got that right. Well, I want to say that I'm really glad that Dee-o came back. I hope that if we invite him, he'll come back again. I really had a really good time talking to you.
Yeah.
I hope to continue that. We're going to come right back with more from Mark Anthony Butcher. Now we're going to play another one of our music videos from one of our artists, Last Shells, Something Real. We'll be right back.
BME Chief. Minimum wage job, cause these goddamn felonies. I know I fucked up, but please somebody help me. I was a youngin', didn't know any better. If I knew then what I know now, be clever.
Hey, welcome back to BME TV. We have another guest here, Mark Anthony Butcher, who is a poet and artist. And we're gonna talk to him to see what he has going on. Welcome to the show, Mark Anthony Butcher. I'm glad to meet you. How are you?
I am blessed.
That's right. So
Thank you.
tell me about the work that you're doing with your poems and your books.
I'm a self-published author. I've been writing for the better part of 50-odd years. I published my first book in '84.
Okay.
It's entitled Before the Divorce, Read This. This is what the cover looks like.
Okay.
And if your audience is
Yes,
interested,
definitely.
let them have a good look.
Yes.
And my second book is called Positive Messages for Young Men Growing Up Without Their Fathers.
Nice.
My goal and hope is to get this book to become required reading for junior high schoolers,
Okay.
as well as Before the Divorce. But I'm now planning and praying that people will begin to pay for positive messages and donate it to brothers in prison. I have a
Nice.
platform that I call Books Blessing Brothers Behind Bars.
Okay.
It's a catchy phrase, 5 B's. I think it's alliteration.
Okay.
But when I heard the thought, Books Blessing Brothers Behind Bars, it's catchy enough for it might actually to take on and do some beneficial good for those who are incarcerated or just in trouble because they haven't learned to follow the rules the way the rules are set up by the crooked system we live in.
Correct.
Okay? Writing has always been my therapy. It's how I prove that I'm not crazy.
Okay.
Although I feel crazy often. And I think anybody who grows up in New York, in America, has a right to feel a little crazy.
Just a little bit. So tell me something about positive messages.
It is a combination of Before the Divorce philosophy,
Okay.
but individual short essays, little aphorisms, haikus, which are 3-line poems with syllabic individualization.
Okay.
I write with the hope of leaving something useful behind, because I know how much time we all don't have. And when I realized as a teenager that somebody saw something I'd written,
Okay.
and the response was, wow, this is really nice. And they were raving pretty much about the work until they said, well, who wrote it? Whose is it? And I, like, it's mine. Oh, you didn't write this. No, you didn't write this. I think I was 14 the first time I heard somebody say, well, you didn't write this. I heard it up and as recently until like a few weeks ago, somebody said, well, you didn't write this. And I'm thinking, yeah, I did.
That's
But
good.
I had to accept what my mother told me.
Which was?
I was lucky not to have been born a slave in this country. Stop whining and complaining.
Well,
It's like,
words to live by.
yeah. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s how true I had to start connecting those dots, because I think I was 30 or 31 when I first read the 28th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy. It was one of those rude awakenings.
Okay.
Because it gave me an association to which of the Africans I came from.
Right.
And that was frightening, because what it says is, the 28th chapter of the book of Deuteronomy is 68 verses.
Okay.
The first 14 talk about blessings and all of these good things that are supposed to be yours if you obey the God of the book. From 16 to 68, it's like, oh, hell. I mean, oh, and if it weren't television, I could be vulgar, but it's like, oh, SHIT. But it's
Right.
like, wow. And the scariest part is, it keeps saying, if you do right, the Lord will bless you. The Lord will do this for you. The Lord will protect you. The Lord.
Right.
But if you don't do right, the Lord's gonna punish you, laugh about punishing you,
And punish you again.
and then give you to your enemy and let him punish you some more. And then at the end it says, oh, and by the way, you're going to be sold into slavery. And I'm saying, uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I don't think that it would have been a good look for me to be in slavery days. I don't know. I don't see. I know our ancestors really, really, really went through some stuff for us, and
Well, the story of those people who got set free from Egypt, they went through something similar, and we ourselves are the people who are going through it similarly to this very day.
okay,
When we talk about the United States as invaded stolen property
right,
that was murdered for, and they're not planning on letting it go or giving it up freely.
right,
The problem I've had to accept and deal with was I watched civil rights unfold in front of a black and white television
exactly.
in the 50s and the 60s here in Brooklyn, USA. It was not a happy sight when I realized that the dogs that they were sicking on those young black folk in the South,
Right,
they would have been sicking them on me had I been in the wrong neighborhood at the right time. And I knew that. In Brooklyn, you just didn't go in certain places.
that's right.
You know, and my mother used to tell us, always let somebody know where you're going. I'm saying, why? She says, because black men disappear in this country. I'm like, disappear? What do you mean? They disappear. It's like, never to be heard from again. It's like, well, how come? Never mind, just do what I tell you. Always have a phone call money and your car fare back and forth.
So tell me something.
Talk to me.
You have a poem for us, right?
Oh, well, I'm going to read from Positive Messages.
Okay.
The title of the poem is God's Growing Ideas.
The floor is yours.
I have taken ideas and watered them. I have cleared and turned their place. I have believed in almighty love and am grateful for my God's grace. I have seen the invisible develop and begin to live. I must ask you also to see and thank God for what he will give. And that's from Positive Messages for Young Men Growing Up Without Their Fathers. It's pretty much the only real poem in the book because the rest of them are haikus, little short essays, information I thought somebody would really benefit from if they just heard it and then started thinking. And my goal was to encourage thought and then encourage young people to write. One of the pieces in the book says, there's an old African proverb, says, until the lion learns to write, all stories about hunting will glorify the hunter.
Wow. Well, you have heard it, folks. I'm really, really happy we had Mark Anthony Butcher with us here today. I've enjoyed your poems. I intend on getting your books. I really find them quite interesting.
Thank you. You can get them available electronically on the internet.
Okay.
Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, iBooks, eBooks, both. Positive Messages for Young Men Growing Up Without Their Fathers. Before the Divorce, Read This is the title. And there's also an audio CD of it called After the Heartbreak, Just Listen, which is part of my Heartbreak Vaccine seminar and kit, which is something that I'm hoping will become a school project.
Nice.
Get children in the room, let them listen to poetry, and then talk about their family relationships or their own relationships, because we have millions of kids watching divorce happen to them, and they've never been married, and they're struggling.
All right, folks. Get out there and purchase these books. Thank you so much for coming and joining us.
And the website is poemspromotingpeace.com.
Poemspromotingpeace.com. So, what are you going to do for us right now, KL Rockwell?
Well, we're going to end the show right now. That's
All
what
right.
I'm going to do for you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
DJ.
very much for watching BME TV. My name is Carol Rockwell. You can catch me on Facebook at Rockwell KL. You can catch me at Twitter, DJ KL Rockwell. Also Instagram, KL DJ KL.